Just be a second.
Just want to remind everybody why we're here again.
All right, I want to read the first part of this and then something else out loud just for transparency. I got to put my glasses on because I'm getting old. So, all right, bear with me. Okay, community concern. In accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, the Red Cliff Band has the inherent sovereign authority to regulate the use of its lands and determine individual rights of entry and/or occupancy of the reservation. The members of the Red Cliff tribe place trust in the elected council officials to uphold, protect, serve the Red Cliff Constitution as it is written. Tribal Council is obligated to hold themselves and its members accountable for any actions that isn't in agreement with the Constitution. To blatantly ignore code violation would be breaching its oath taking at the beginning of your elected term. The community has placed faith and trust in you to serve this community with courage and integrity. Therefore, this includes the exclusion and removal of those individuals who act in disregard of tribal or other law that endangers or harms the natural, social, psychological, or physical well-being of members or other persons on the reservation. For the benefit of the tribal community, in accordance with the Red Cliff Code of Laws, Chapter 40, the named individual's conduct has threatened the health, safety, welfare, and tribe of its members. In the best interest of the band, we urge the Tribal Council to uphold our tribal laws and have these individuals removed or excluded from the lands of the reservation. All right. Chapter 40 of the Red Cliff Code of Laws was amended last year in October 2023 to include tribal members on top of the already non-member exclusion for, and I quote, those individuals who have acted in disregard of tribal or other law, destroyed tribal fishing game, trespassed upon tribal trust property, polluted tribal lands and waters, destroyed real or personal property of the band, its members or reservation residents, or endanger or harm the natural, social, psychological, or physical well-being of members or other persons on the reservation. Complaints are based on one or more of the grounds specified under Chapter 40, Section 10. There are 12 of them, A through L, and 3 of them apply here. A, G, and K. It may be B. It can be initiated by any member of the Tribal Council, any individual member. It doesn't need the whole council to submit names. Also by the Chief of Police, Tribal Attorney, or the Housing Authority Director, who, by the way, has been doing a great job holding to their policies to keep their property and tenants safe and accountable. We cannot submit a Chapter 40 complaint to tribal court. Only those stated in tribal authorities can. But we can bring these community concerns and question those who are authorized. Are you doing your part to keep this community and its members safe from these drug dealers? Are you following the code of laws as they are written and what you took an oath to? This amendment has been written into our laws for nearly a year now. To this date, no one has honored their oath to uphold this code of law. What's holding you back? What's taking you so long to do what's right for this community? Are you scared, not wanting to be the first ones to step up? It shouldn't take a concerned member to remind you to bring these to you. We shouldn't have to do your jobs for you, but there it is. Our daughter's dead because of these drugs that these dealers are pushing here. They're either bringing it in from outside the community or they're producing and storing it here. Since her death last summer, our family has spearheaded for change, pushing for this Chapter 40 amendment and being a visual, continuous reminder to this community and the council that enough is enough. It's not like we're picking, these were picked out of a hat. There's no investigation needed. This is all public knowledge. These individuals have been caught and charged. We're not picking on this one or that one, or if they're addicts. These people who are caught with the intention to sell, deliver, or have committed a serious crime. Our focus has always been on the dealers who have chose to push this shit without any regard to the lives they've ruined or who they've killed. Enough is enough. My wife and I came before this council back in April. We were concerned and brought to your attention that a section on opioids and other controlled substance should be included in this code of laws. During that time, our tribal attorney mentioned that although it wouldn't be a good fit for action in Chapter 39 or 40, he did agree that it was valid concern and worth including in a section on harboring. For those of you that didn't get that submission in April, the following are some examples that we thought should be included in the code. Any individual found harboring, sheltering, safeguarding, securing, or providing refuge to the excluded or removed individuals, or operating a place of trafficking / maintaining a drug trafficking place shall be subject to, lease revocation or exclusion themselves. Manufacturing Schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4 in dwellings and outbuildings. The tribe may, again, question, condemn and remove dwelling due to toxic and hazardous materials at the owner's expense. The legal department was going to review the proposed changes and brought back recommendations for the council. A few months later, we spoke to the tribal attorney and asked for some updates, if there had been any submissions or changes. We were told that sometime after April council meeting, it was brought back to the council's attention by legal, and to this date, no actions have been taken by the council. So if you can understand, we're very disheartened by what's going on, or in fact, what's not going on. The inability to make changes and follow this code is a breach of your oath you took, and part of what you all were elected for was to make decisions to safeguard this community and its members. Again, it's there in front of you. Look them up yourself to see if they're violations against our code of laws. I bet all of them are, and deserve the Chapter 40 complaint. Submit 1, 4, 9. Please protect our people before somebody else dies. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Dave Ujak, what was the conversation we had about when this was going to be presented to the tribe in a legal fashion and how the tribal judge would review or execute? Is that how our question was this spring? I'm not sure.
I'm not understanding the question.
What's the way forward with this?
It's my understanding that this may be slated for discussion at your retreat.
Charlie and Shelley. I really appreciate all the information that you guys are compiling. I know you're doing a lot of work in the background. I see all the requests for information and all of the ongoing perseverance with the desires for implementation of Chapter 40. And like the Code of Law reads, like you mentioned, all of those initiations can be made by those different parties, and in the background, we can't discuss open investigations, of course, in tribal council session, but administratively, we have a lot of work happening, and the council will be briefed on some of that at the retreat at the end of this week. And again, the information being brought to council is very, very helpful, very helpful.
I do want to take note that every one of those names that we have given you this evening, there is no investigation. These are charged under Bayfield County. That means we are just waiting for the court proceedings to go through and judgment to be had. So there's no, I don't see anything stopping anybody from submitting any of these names. What I want to see is the process of what's going to happen once those names are submitted. I imagine it's going to take time because the individual gets to appeal and so on and so forth. It's going to take time to get from one point to the next. But until somebody starts doing something here, there's no point in even writing any more codes or following any of your codes to any point. Because if you can't follow one, why should you follow any of them?
All right, Miigwech. Anybody else?
Guys,